Hello. You don't have to unless you just want to hear yourself.
Oh, okay. I
You
want
want
to
to
try
hear
that.
what you sound like?
I want to hear what I sound.
She wants to hear what she sounds like on the radio.
Hello.
Hi, Angie.
Hello.
Hi, guys. Sorry we were a little late today. We had some technical difficulties, but we are here today, and today is. Hi.
Congrats.
Welcome to my show.
Still the same name?
At Relative Realness, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you. This is my guest for today.
Yeah.
My friend Whitney, coming from Cali.
How you doing?
Yes, sir.
Nice to meet you.
All right. So sorry that y'all do that a lot. So sorry that we're late, guys. We had some technical difficulties with the computer. Last week we had technical difficulties with the DJ. My homegirl flew all the way out from Atlanta to DJ, and she wasn't even able to do it. However, she did, engage the conversation of poly, which we're not going to talk about today, or maybe we will. We don't know. But welcome to Relative Realness. It's Saturday, May 8th, 2021. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
To all the mothers, stepmothers, doggy mothers, and, all the mothers, rainbow mothers, all the mothers. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. So, today I have a really, really good friend, a childhood friend of mine who I reconnected with a few years ago, maybe like 6 years ago. And we had a, come to Jesus and come together moment. We had a few come to Jesus and come together moments. And she then left me and moved out to Cali.
Yes.
And then I moved out to Texas. So, I guess it was an even exchange. But I came back. She did. So, but she's also the co-founder with her and her husband of the Third Parent Family, which is a nonprofit organization in Cali. And she's here today to just talk to us and give us some insight on what she does, why she does it, how she started. To give you a little background on how I feel about her, she has always been extremely passionate about people and helping people, but also just teaching people how to love themselves and to spread that love and always pay it forward. So I'm so honored to have you here today, Miss Whitney.
I am so excited to be here, and congratulations to you on your show. This is way overdue.
Yes.
Definitely your calling. So I'm so happy to be a part of it, and so happy that I'm able to share this moment with you. But thanks for having me.
Yes.
So like you were saying, my husband and I, we have founded a nonprofit based out of San Francisco, California, called Third Parent Family and Youth Services. And our mission is to empower families and youth to overcome societal barriers by offering them readily available resources.
Yes.
So, we come from a childhood and a background where it was a village.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was so important to have that village around us. And I think that's the vibe and that's the atmosphere that we try to create with Third Parent. We all have two parents.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we need that extra support. So imagine if you did have a third parent, mom or dad's not available, but you have this extra person that can offer you the support that you may need in that moment. So that's the kind of.
And I was going to ask you, where do you think this passion for helping people and being a resource and giving the same thing that you received came from? But I guess you said it with saying that we had a village, and so
for sure, definitely just something that we just grew up in. My mom is a huge giver. My grandmother is a huge giver. So I come from that environment where, you give. If I have something, you get half of it. You know what I mean? And so I just think it's important for our world to get back like that. We have to be intentional about giving. We have to be intentional about sharing. We have to be intentional
and not
about
giving to receive, not giving and expecting something in return.
Right.
Just giving for the simple act of just giving.
Yes.
So what other services do you guys provide? What are some things that you guys, I know you had a toy drive during Christmas.
Yeah, and we did a turkey drive during Thanksgiving. So right now, one of our huge focuses is our pop-up food pantry that is currently getting set up right now in California as we speak.
Shout out to the pop-up happening today.
Yes, we have an amazing team. My partner, Davier, he is there making it happen right now. So I'm extremely grateful for him that we can have opportunities like this where one of us can be away and it can still happen. So yes, our pop-up pantry happens every Saturday, and we are feeding at least 200 families to 300 families that have access to this food a week. Nice. And we're just grateful to be able to do it. And what's really special about our pantry is that we offer delivery service. So our mission is to, empower families and youth by breaking a societal barrier. So if a barrier is that you're unable to come to our pop-up and get the food, we have delivery drivers that can take that food to you.
Oh, that's even better. Even better. There's no excuses. We're going to get it to you one way.
To your front door.
Or another. So what other, what are the hopes for the nonprofit? Like, where do you wish to take all of this?
So we offer the food pantry. We offer resources for youth as far as job readiness and housing opportunities and placement, and
you help them get their driver's license.
Yes, so that was initially before COVID started. That was our initial thing, helping individuals get their driver's license by offering them tutoring so that they can pass their permit test, and then offering them the car to take the test.
Nice.
And that can be a barrier. You're going to take your driver's test, but whose car am I going to use?
Right. You can't take yourself. So you got to get there somehow. I did, though. I definitely took myself to my driving test. It's a New York thing.
That's another resource that we offer. So it's a few things out there, and just community engagement. So we actually have a resource fair coming up, a community and family resource fair coming up in June, that we're just going to have several resources be able to just be in one place for families. So it's I don't have to go to this place and that place. I can get everything I need in one place. So yeah.
So you have a lot of families coming to you. How have you affected the younger generation? Do you have a lot of children that come with your youth program? I know you do tutoring. How has that influenced them?
We have a lot of youth that come out, which is really, really nice to see. A lot of high school students have been coming out, and even some younger than that. Each week we have a nice handful, and at first it was just them coming to get hours for community service for school, and then it turned into okay, I already have all the hours I need, but they're still there every week.
So it was something they had to do, and now it's something they absolutely want to do,
and love to do,
and they choose to do, which is a big deal.
Yeah, and they can come by themselves and just be a part of.
And it's a few hours to just
what we have going on.
Do you guys incorporate? I know Dav. Shout out to Dav. I know Dav is heavy on the arts. He's an artist for real.
Yes,
and I know how you feel about the arts because you have dragged me to do a flash mob or two. Yes. And we'll talk about that later. But how do you guys incorporate the arts with them as well? What?
So at the pop-up, last week we had a live DJ that came through. We have live music that comes through. Shout out to KJ Focus, who plays the sax that comes out sometimes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so super
that's real
nice.
Music, real live instruments. Okay. Culture.
So yes, and then we just recently started, and on the 15th of May, it's coming up, our second Artists for Change. We partnered with Wayne Hayes Management, and we started Artists for Change, where we artists have a platform to come and perform and share their talents, and then also let us know what they're doing in the community. So it's just a way for people to do both, you know, to be able
Yeah.
to showcase both. Like, this is how I am involved in the community, but I also have a talent that I love to share. So shout out to Wayne Hayes Management that we have another one coming up on May 15th. So super excited about that.
How did you get here? Like with starting, no, not how did you get here? Yeah, we got here. Thank you. Shout out to you. But how did you get, like, you know, a lot of people say they want to do this and they want to start a nonprofit and they want to do things for their community. But what were the real struggles and like that you had to deal with in starting this nonprofit? Because it's not, no, this is my nonprofit out my basement. This is like a legit situation. Like, they got a real website, yo. Like they got pictures and everything. Like, I was impressed.
People.
There's some schools out here and organizations that don't even have a website like that. So shout out to you, third party family, because y'all are definitely giving all the information that the people need. That's all I'm saying. And you can donate as well. We'll talk about it later. But
thank you.
But how did, like, what were the steps? Like, tell me like 2 of the main struggles you had with starting your nonprofit or difficulties. 2
of the main struggles. Well, I want to be completely transparent. Like, we started this Third Parent Family came about as Davier was finishing up college, and him focusing and getting his certification in community health work. This idea came about Third Parent, and he was really the brains behind it. Okay. Like, he saw this vision,
right?
And we both had a love for the community. We both had a love for youth. So it was really organic and really natural, like how it came together. But I was also expecting my first child during that time. So I wasn't the horse behind it. He really did some research, you know, and YouTube is your friend. It really is. YouTube is everything. It has things on there.
That's how people out here becoming millionaires off YouTube, because it's better than Google. I'm telling you, it's like it has everything you need. But that's what's up.
Yep. And he did some research. We set up through LegalZoom, and it was a smooth process. Some struggles is, you know, we started out with 5 of us when when the food pantry kind of came, the idea came about. And I think the main thing is just being consistent.
Consistency
and dedication equals success
with everything. Say that again. Say that one more time for the people. Just say that one more time. It just felt like real, like, stand-up devotion time. Like, it was. You say that one more time.
Consistency and dedication equals success, and that is something that, you know, I think we as people can get deterred and distractions can come, but getting an accountability partner. You know, like somebody that can be like, oh, okay, you ain't do this today. You need to make sure you do that.
And was that were you that for Dov and Dov for you, or did you have your own separate accountability partners, because there might have been times you wanted to knock each other out?
No,
separate from your partner, get another accountability partner.
You can, but I think if you're doing this with your partner, like, you guys are gonna hold each other accountable. And I think that's where it came from me. Like, he held me accountable on things that I needed to do on my end.
Now, because as your partner, and then as your partner, right, holding you accountable for things, that probably wasn't always a fun experience. Like, did you always just accept it and just take it in, or was it like,
no?
Like, are you tripping? Like,
I
only say this because I know with me.
Yes, okay. I did not always accept it. It was sometimes very uncomfortable,
right?
Because it's you know, you're reflecting yourself. Like, this is a reflection of you. Like, and I work really well under pressure. I'm a natural procrastinator. So, you know, knowing that it's due tomorrow.
No, but she really, like legit, like when it's under, like, what? We got how many hours?
Let's pull this
off.
off.
Let's go. And it's going to be amazing every time.
It's some of the best work.
Every time.
but that's not always the most effective
Right.
way, and it's stress.
And especially when you're working with someone else.
Yes.
When it's not just your show.
And that's not
It
and
is
that's
mine
not
though.
everybody's style.
It is mine though. This one is
her
mine.
show.
Okay,
It is her
sidebar.
show. It's not always everyone else's style.
Right.
And so like that's what you have to be respectful to. And that's something that I'm learning, and it has not been easy because I like to do things how I like to do it. And when you are in a partnership, you have to share.
And then you have to remember it's not about you.
Yep.
Which is not fun, but like, what do you mean? Like, but it's not about you. So you have to step out and then assess things differently.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. I need it. I want more of it. Dom, third we're probably saying t-shirt.
Say it again.
T-shirt. Yeah, third parent family. It's a t-shirt.
T-shirt. What about a t-shirt?
I don't know.
Third parent.
T-shirt?
Who's tuned in?
What t-shirt? They said every day, and it's a t-shirt.
I don't.
Y'all got t-shirts?
Oh.
So y'all have merch?
Yes, merch is coming.
So okay. So that's what. Thank you.
Please.
She's here. I promise.
Merch is on the way.
So the merch is on the way. We have the third parent family merch on the way. That quote. What quote? The quote on your shirt.
It says positive mind.
Her shirt says positive mind.
Mm-hmm. And then I don't know what it says on the back.
Oh, let me see.
Do you want to report?
Let me see. It says a positive mind finds opportunity in everything.
Yes.
And I love that, and that's why you see I got my Think Positive gangsta tats, right?
There you go.
Yay, gang. You already know.
Gang.
You already know. You gotta stay positive all day, every day.
And talking about that positivity, like that is one thing that we add to our grocery bags. So our families get affirmations each week, which is super, super cool. And I've gotten some really good feedback from it, where we are not only nourishing your body, you know what I mean? Like we're nourishing your mind. And then we also give flowers in our bag.
Oh my God.
Each week, so that your home
my God.
is
Oh
beautiful.
my God. You already know how I feel about flowers. Now, I love how you just say everything, because everything that you say just flows into my next thing, right? So like the third parent family is a beautiful thing, and I'm so happy and proud of you because I've gotten to see your journey from literally saying, I'm leaving.
Yeah. Can we talk about that?
Like, sis, like packed up her stuff. It's like, no, I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? I'm a single, beautiful Black woman out here.
Yeah.
I have no children.
Yeah.
I have no children. Nothing's holding me back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I am going to embrace my world, and I'm going to go all the way out to Cali. Right? And everybody was like, where you going? Her mama was like, where you going? Everybody was like, where you going? And I was like, go ahead, girl. I'm going to come see you. And that was my first trip ever to Cali. Mm-hmm. And I've just seen the levels and everything that you have done. You have become a mommy. You have become a partner. You have become a wife. You have become a doggy mommy. You have a home that you have built and a family that you have built. And I'm extremely, extremely proud of you. And I'm extremely proud of you. And with the affirmations, I can tell you, when I tell you Whitney is the affirmation queen, like she was Mary Jane before Mary Jane. She was putting up Post-it notes, okay, on the windowsills, and just coming up with ideas of just reminding people of just how to love and just how to be present. Like, I remember you did the thing at Brewster, and you came up with the key idea.
Yes,
right.
I want to bring back.
Yes, which is still like, and I have a French key on my thing, which a whole nother situation. But anyway, so it was these French keys that we got. Like we literally went to,
man,
I don't even know where we went, but we went around asking like hardware stores and like keys. If they had just old keys, just old rusty keys, whatever. And then we got these keys. Did we paint them or
we spray painted them?
We work smarter, not harder. Okay, you're before our time. This is before Pinterest. Okay, this is before Pinterest when you really had to come up with your own shit. So then we spray painted all these keys, and then she tied a word to it, and the idea was you had to pick a key, and whatever the key had, whatever the word was.
So yeah, like we had words behind us, and just kind of like ask people like, what do you need in this moment? Like, what do you need to either get you through this day? What do you need to get you through the month? And so we had words like peace, joy,
Right.
love, tranquility, forgiveness, just so many different things. And it was really powerful.
Let me tell you how powerful it was, okay? So sidebar, my sister and I, we have an interesting relationship, right? We've come together now, but at that time, we didn't talk to each other for years, right? So on this day, I met Brewster. Why was I there?
We're doing the flash mob.
Oh, that was the day of the flash mob. Another story. So I was there. I didn't go to Brewster, but I was there. And we're doing this thing, and I picked a key that said forgiveness, right? And then in that moment, my sister texted my phone. My sister that I hadn't spoken to yet, and I was literally like Whitney. Like I was Whitney and her mom, and I was like, what the fuck? Because there was so much things that I still have to forgive, but there was so much on me at that moment. And it wasn't even about her at that time while she was calling, but it was like the floodgate of us rebuilding.
Right.
And I don't think that would have happened if I wasn't there. That wouldn't have happened if we didn't have them keys. That wouldn't have happened if I didn't pick that word. But clearly, just like she said, you were picking something that you felt like you needed at that time. And the Lord was speaking and everything was in alignment.
Right.
And I think it was a beautiful thing, especially for the people we were with.
Yeah.
Because we were with other people, and I feel like they don't understand how much love we give or how much love there is to give.
Right.
And to see you, you know, the 5 Black kids that were up there who all came from the same place, right? To be the one to come back and teach that to them. And I hope it continued.
It actually has. It is something they do philanthropy week, and it's something that they have continued to do.
Which
so
is awesome.
Yeah.
And always giving back and always just paying it forward. And you can pay it forward in the simplest ways, and people don't even realize it. Like literally just letting somebody in front of you in the grocery store because they got lighter shit. Like it's not like, you know what I mean? And that makes their day. Like saying a compliment to a woman, and saying compliments to women is the craziest thing to me, because women will stare you down in the street before they say, hey, you look good, or hey, your jacket looks nice. And I'm like, yo, what? Like, they will look at you like you stole their money. Like just say hi. And then when you do what? And then when you do approach a woman and say, hey, sis, you look good, that looks nice, they're like shocked to like hear a compliment, which it shouldn't be that way, but it is the way that it is. But it wouldn't be if we just did it more often. Like, which is a beautiful thing, and which something Whitney has always taught me is just like love on each other. Like it's really not that hard, and
so important.
And it's so important. Just continue to love on each other. Ubuntu. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing it means love.
No, it does not mean
on
love.
Each other.
It's a philosophy that
she's gonna educate us.
that Nelson Mandela used, and his idea behind it was that, you know, if you're walking through a village, you should never have to ask for food or water. And so that's kind of how our pantry runs. Like people will walk by and they may just ask for something and we give it to them. Like it's not you have to be this or you have to do
what
that.
You gonna do? Or I gotta do this first.
Right.
Like,
you know, if you're hungry,
you gonna roll me up first. You gotta flip. No.
If you're thirsty, we're gonna give you something to drink. So.
And it's something so good to look back on, because I think about it now, growing up where we did, you could really never go hungry. Even like in our school, like I was telling my boyfriend the other day, like we were walking around East New York, and I'm showing him Bethlehem, which is our school, BBA. Shout out to BBA. Shout out to BBA.
Shout out to TWS.
And Trades Whitfield School as well. Okay. But, you know, we were walking and I was showing him the back gate. And I was like, yeah, we used to slip out the back gate and go to McDonald's and go to like American Hero. And he was like, oh, y'all have money like that? I was like, nah, sometimes we didn't. But we would go to Mr. Whitfield, who was our principal. Shout out to Mr. Whitfield. And we would go to him like, Mr. Whitfield, I need lunch.
We hungry.
Right. And he would whip out the whole wad of money and give us $10. And then like, give us $10.
I'm talking about
for all
like
6 of us.
Like
money. Wad, okay?
And just
give us $10 and be like, that's for all of y'all. Y'all got this. I love you, baby. You know what I'm saying?
That like, piece chicken nugget is
and we would split that. And you know, but you never went hungry. Track and field days. I know my mom used to be out there grilling and stuff. And we went home with at least 4 big packs of like frozen burgers.
Yeah.
We had bread for days. We had, you know what I'm saying? We had the Oreo cookies and the Huggies.
Took care of each other.
We took care of each other, and and it was a community where we all lived close as well because everyone lived around. There was no, when my mom cooked food, I was bringing food to Miss Mark, Miss Brown. I was bringing food around the corner to Miss Stewart. I was bringing food the next day to Miss Whitney. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a real family.
You get a
plate. Everybody gets a plate. And to this day, Miss Whitney would tell you, I want your mom's rice and peas. And I'm like, me too. But it's a beautiful thing because then you have those memories and you have those connections and you grow with that. And you always want to lead with that. And you always want to lead with love. And with those connections, we're still friends to these days. We're still friends. That's a family forever.
And and it's hard to really understand people that that didn't grow up in our era, didn't grow up in that community. Mm-hmm. It's hard for them to understand, like, how are you still friends or from people from like elementary school,
like about nursery.
We've been doing how this. Are you still friends with them? Like, that doesn't make any sense, but it makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense
because it was a family that they created.
It was a family they created.
Just a school.
It was always led with God from the gate.
Yes.
Like
first and
from
foremost.
The gate, and from the gate you felt love. Shout out to Mr. T. Rest in peace.
Yes.
I'm getting emotional thinking about Mr. T. Like that's how. Like how much love there was.
He was our janitor.
He was our janitor, but he greeted us at the gate in the morning. Yep. He greeted us when we left in the afternoon. He always had jokes, pull my finger, like the corniest jokes. And he legit looked like Mr. T from the A-Team. Like he was this big, like he had the gang of keys.
Yes.
Like shout out to
Mr. T.
But those are the memories that you hold on to. And then you try to like continue to like let that happen. Like my son now, he doesn't have that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he's very disconnected, the school that he's in, because it's mostly white and it's mostly Polish, which is a whole different type of white. Okay. And he's struggling. Mm-hmm. So like now we're having the discussion of in September, if they go back to like full school, are you going back? Mm-hmm. And he's legit like, I hope not. Like he does not, he's just not interested. And I wish that we did still have those spaces. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I feel like those spaces is what made me go back to being in schools anyway, because anyone could tell you if anyone hated school,
it was you.
What?
Yeah, Shara did not like school, y'all.
What?
She did.
And it's not that I didn't like school. Like I loved school. I just didn't care for learning. I just I just felt like
the environment was great.
I loved my school. Like the learning part, whatever. But like being in a space with people that looked like me, I never had the complex of light skin, dark skin. I never had the complex of feeling like I wasn't pretty enough or, I wasn't good enough, because from the door, from the morning devotion, you were taught that you were enough. From the time I walked out the door, my mother said the ask for is girls are beautiful girls. Mm-hmm. So it was never, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't have that luxury. A lot of people are still struggling to have that feeling,
And to have teachers that look like you from nursery to 8th grade.
Some of them are still there.
Yeah.
Shout out that you end up teaching with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to those teachers.
Like those are educators. Those are like, when I tell you they're here to stay and they not getting paid no board of ed money. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice. That's when those were people that actually loved teaching. They breathed teaching, right? And I think that's what made I enjoyed being the teacher that it was easy to come to, right? Because for me, because I did not like school and because I had a whole bunch of other shit going on, I always gravitated to one person or one teacher who understood me or understood where I was coming from. So whether it was my dance teacher, Ms. Deidre Dawkins, the first dance teacher I had, shout out to you, whether it was her who made me feel like because of dance, I got to use all those emotions and everything that I was going through dance, right? So I always knew in some capacity I wanted to give that back. I wanted to remind adults that children have feelings and emotions too.
Yeah.
Because to this day, you will hear somebody say, oh, you're just a child. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you don't, what are you going through? You know, like, I was going through some shit. Okay.
Yeah.
And kids be going through some real life shit.
Yeah.
And if you go into an environment, you spend half of your day at school. You spend most of your day at school than you do at home. These are the people that see you more than your parents, right? So if I can't find one person that I can connect with in that building, then I'm fucked. Like, I'm lost.
And then that's a problem that happens now.
Absolutely.
Like, the kids have no one to really connect with. And it's important to be able to connect with somebody that looks like you. And when that's not in the schools,
what do you do?
Right. We got a problem.
What do you do? Because even I remember Amari, when he was in like second grade, his teacher was telling him something about like Black History Month or something. And Amari legit said, how are you supposed to teach me about my culture? And he was like 6.
From the mouth of babes.
From the mouth of babes. And I was like, what? I'm supposed to tell him something about that? Like, what? Like, you right? Like, tell him. Like, right, and to this day, like, why are we doing a book on Jackie Robinson in May? Because y'all didn't do it in February for Black History Month. Like, she
mad about that.
I mean, yeah, I just wanted to shout that out. Like, why? I'm not doing it. Give him his 3. The year is over. Like,
she mad about
all right, but sidebar. Sorry. They just be doing stuff. Like, how many emails do I have to send? Do I have to be that one Black parent? It's only 3 of us. Like, stop playing with me.
Yes.
I'll be that parent every time. I'll be that. I'm that parent. I'm that parent for him when they had was it like mother-daughter day or father-daughter day, father-son, whatever. And then they had it, and then they posted like all the pictures from it, like in the front of the building as soon as you walked in. And I was just like, hey, I know my child doesn't matter to you, but his father's in the military. He hasn't seen him in a while. He took some damn pictures down. Like, this is traumatizing for him every day coming in. Like, he already had to deal with being there that day and everyone's father being there. Right. And now you got these pictures here every day. Yeah. He already don't want to be here. Y'all already don't look like him. Like, y'all not talking about nothing he want to talk about. So so I'm now struggling. It is his last year, though, because he's going to 5th grade. So I'm like, do I let him just finish his last year and just deal with it? Or do I just put him in another school? And he legit was like, well, you can find a school that has 5th grade and middle school as well.
That's the option. Or,
I was like, you right.
Get involved as a parent to change a little bit. Change some things.
They hate me already.
Ooh,
They already, like, I got the security guard's number on dial, the nurse. Like, everybody knows. Okay, I got called to the school. The principal called me around 12:30 in the afternoon. I know you usually come get Amari around 4, but, you know, I just wanted to discuss something with you. It's not an emergency. Everything's okay. But could you just come to my office? Oh, clearly she doesn't know how my OCD and my craziness is set up.
Why would you?
When I tell you I was there within 25 minutes, like, Uber me there immediately. Before I got there, I called the security guard. I was like, yo, Daisy, why is the principal calling me? What did Amari do?
Right.
She's like, what are you talking about? It can't be that serious, because if it was, she would have told me. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm calling an after school teacher. I'm like trying to figure out like what happened. So I got there and I see the principal and she's like, oh, I'm like, yeah, sis, I can't, I'm just waiting till 4. What's up?
What's going on?
So she sits me down in the office. She's like, you know, Amari was in the cafeteria discussing with 2 other students on how to take 2 pencils and rub them together so they can burn the school down, and then set the fire alarm, call an Uber, and then go to one of the students' houses. Mind you, my child was in 3rd grade at the time. So being the asshole that I am,
I'm dying.
I start busting out laughing like, yo. I'm like, wait, hold on. Who's calling the Uber? Like, what are we talking about right now?
3rd graders.
What are we talking about, right? So then she was upset. Like, they need to understand that there are repercussions and consequences for their actions. And I'm like, all right, sis, so what you want to do? Right. She was like, you know, they're going to have 3-day suspension. I'm like, 3 days? In-house suspension. Oh, you just want to waste people's time. You just want to waste my time.
What about a restorative conversation? You know what I mean?
So the issue was when she went to the classroom to speak to Amari about what happened, Amari refused to get out his seat and he refused to tell her anything. So I said, and I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, so this is your punishment. She said, yeah. I said, okay, whatever, cool. So I pick up Amari. He got the sad face on because he know he in trouble. But I'm trying so hard not to laugh because this is absolutely ridiculous. Because I'm also telling the principal, clearly you do not know my child. Because there's no way in hell he's rubbing two pencils together until they burn. Okay? Like, what are you talking about? He's too lazy. He's gonna say his knuckles hurt. Like, secondly, who is ringing the fire? Like, what?
Yeah.
Who? What? To go to the other kid's house in Long Island City? Really? Like, ma'am, this is like you called me for this. You had nothing better to do. So I see Amari. I'm like, you want to talk about this now? You want to talk about it when we get home? He's like, when we get home. I'm like, all right, cool. So we get home and tell me what happens. I'm in the cafeteria. Ariana and Elena, girls? It was two girls that you're conspiring with? This is what you're telling me? They said that they were going to start to set the school on fire if they rubbed two pencils together. And I told them it wouldn't make sense because they wouldn't have time to pull the alarm, grab their stuff, and call an Uber. I said, that makes sense.
So smart.
So smart. Sounds like my child. Sounds about right. And I was like, all right. So I was like, so when the principal came to talk to you about it, did you tell her this? He said, no. I said, did you get it? No. So of course, like you said, why was it not a conversation?
Mm-hmm.
I had a conversation with my child.
Right.
Amari.
Mm-hmm.
You are Black.
Right.
Because the way your principal told me this story, you had the blueprints to the building, you had the plan, you had the Uber account.
Yeah, it was all you.
It was all you.
Yeah.
And the fact that she came to speak to you about it and you chose to sit there and not say anything made you look guilty because you didn't defend yourself.
Right.
And therefore I couldn't defend you because you sat there, and that made it look like you were rude and being defiant when you was just scared.
Right.
But they don't see it as that. They see it as the little Black boy was conspiring with the little girls so he could go to their house and then it could turn into a whole nother situation.
That part.
Okay.
That part.
But we had to have that conversation. So now he knows when he's put in those situations, he has to speak up for himself.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to.
And don't be afraid to.
And I've always liked that about your parenting style. Like, just even seeing over the years, like how you parent Amari. You have conversations with him, you know what I mean? Like, and he knows when he does something wrong, and there's ways to discipline your children without having to, cause trauma, you know? And I've just always appreciated that. And so as becoming a new mom, like, I try.
It's hard though. It's hard. My dad used to beat my ass. Like, and I knew when it was coming because we would eat, right? And then we watch Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, right? Then he go in the living room. He won't say shit. He go in the living room. If he put a particular Nat King Cole song on, right? And he say, yo, I'm not gonna say my government name, but he say, yo, come here. What?
That was it?
It was a rap. I'm running around the living room.
What did he use?
A belt, sis, like a thick West Indian real leather belt, right? He used to catch my brother in the shower so it could well up. Like slavery shit, like real slave master shit, right? Okay.
Dad, no.
So when I had Amari, my godbrother, he asked me, what is one thing that, you would want to do with Amari that your parents didn't do? And I told him, tell him the truth. Tell him the truth and actually tell him. Like the idea, we grew up, oh, don't do that. Why? Because I said so. Or because, I never liked the idea of why did you get to go on your journey to discover why and I can't? Like, why can't you? Like, if you can't tell me why I can't do it, like, what's so bad about doing it? I'm going to want to do it and discover it myself. So you might as well just tell me. Right. So in raising Amari, I've always been honest, whether it's been with the relationship with me and his father, because at the end of the day, your kids are there. So they're living everything. Whether they're happy, smiling in your face, they're crying at night. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're holding that shit in and they see it. So you have no choice but to just be honest with them. Right. And in being honest with him, when me and his dad separated and he was about 5 and he could look at me and say, you know what, mommy, daddy just has a different spirit.
Powerful.
Like, what am I supposed to say to that? Like, you right. Okay, but hey, that's how you...
Different.
He just has a different spirit. You know what I mean? And that's how he copes with understanding the relationship with his father.
But then it also helps you look at it a different way too. You know what I mean? Like a different spirit.
Right.
And just sometimes like those spirits are that different where it may not just go together.
And he understood that. And like when we got divorced, like one of the things he said, he's like, so when do I get my bonus, Dad?
Oh.
And I was like, where the hell? Where are you getting these Will and Jada terms? What are you talking in the red table? what are you talking about? And he was like, are you going to get remarried again? And it felt amazing for me, one, to know that he wanted that for me, and two, to know that his father wasn't it. So it was just like, but you know, like, and he said it, he was like, no, you deserve to have someone who makes you happy and who loves you. And he said, and who loves me too. And I was like, you're absolutely right. And, you know, I stayed single for like 3 years because I didn't want to just jump into relationships and just have, that's your Uncle Jimmy, that's your Uncle Bob, that's your Uncle James. You don't got all these uncles here, you know what I'm saying? So like, but I appreciate that, and I'm honest with him. And even the people I do date, like when I did start dating, those are conversations I had with my son. Like, I'm going on a date. And then like when he met Lynn, I was like, do you like him? And he was like, hey, yeah. And now he's like, yeah, he's cool. He got a few video games, so he cool now. He's a keeper now. But at the end of the day, the same village that we had, whether we don't have it now, it's still instilled in us. So we just like continue to share it and give it, because anyone who knows me, if you know, you know, if I got it, you got it. Right? Even when I don't have it, if I have it, I'm gonna still give it to you. You know what I'm saying? And I'll deal with the consequences of it later, because I know that the same way I helped you out, somebody's gonna help me out. God's always got my back, period. You know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing. And it took a long time to get here, but we're here now.
Yes.
Right? So we got to end the show, but I just want to thank you, Tiffany. Tiffany's the one. That was thank you, Whitney. No shame. I want to thank you, Whitney, so much for coming out here. I know you came out for Mother's Day. You came out to see family, and you are my family. You are definitely my sister friend, and I love you to pieces. And I wish you and Dov and the third parent family and the Cali world and the babies and the chocolate babies all the best. And I can't wait for you to come back and tell us more that you guys are doing. So you guys do have an event coming up on June 13th. So let us know about that.
June 13th, the event will be taking place at 1031 Franklin Street in San Francisco, California. It'll be from noon to 5. And just bring out your family. We're going to have a petting zoo. We're going to have some face painting for the kids. We're going to have a whole bunch of resources. And shout out to the vegan mob that's going to be supplying our food for us. With the food truck. So yeah, we're super, super excited about that. Please follow us at Third Parent Family on Instagram.
Follow.
On Facebook. And yes, we are nonprofit. So yes, we accept donations.
Donate. Go fund me. Get to the website.
www.thirdparentfamily.com.
I'm definitely going to put it in the link for the after show, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in once again.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. All love. Everybody have a great Saturday. Have a great Mother's Day. Don't forget your mothers. Send her flowers. Bring her flowers. Give her flowers every week.
Tell her you love her.
Tell her you love her every 10 minutes, even if it's in a text message, even if it's annoying. I love you. Stay blessed, stay black, stay humble.